Hey there, let's solve LeetCode number 70, climbing stairs. You are climbing a staircase. It takes n steps to reach the top. Each time, you can either climb 1 or 2 steps. And how many distinct ways can you climb to the top? Okay, so when n is equal to 2, so the second step, there's 2 ways to get there, right? To get to the second step, you can do 1 step plus 1 step, or you can immediately take 2 steps, right? Because you can either take 1 step or 2 steps, okay? So there are 2 unique ways to get to the top of a staircase that is 2 steps, okay? And then over here, now we get to n is equal to 3. So the third step, there's 3 ways to get there. You can take a sequence of 3 1 steps, or you can take a sequence of 1 step and then 2 steps. And then finally, you can take a sequence of 2 steps and then 1 step, right? So the constraints here, very straightforward. N is greater than equal to 1, and it's less than equal to 45. So let's head on over to the drawing board so we have a better understanding of our approach here. Okay, so the logic here is this is a dynamic programming question, and specifically the approach we'll be doing here is bottom up approach, okay? You'll hear others refer bottom up, they'll refer to it as tabulation, all right? So I'll solve this with a O of n time approach with a O of n space, and then we'll do better with the space, okay? We'll solve it in O of 1 time, so constant, okay? So with that being said, the logic here is understanding this formula here and the base case, okay? So let's start off with the base case first, okay? So what we're passing in here in this function f is the step number, okay? So the 0th step, so right here, right? How many unique ways can you get there? It's just 1, right? Right? You can teleport here. You can fly in with a parachute here. You can jump here, right? You can do a cartwheel, whatever. You can only get here 1 way though, okay? So that's why the 0th step is 1 way, all right? All right, so what about the first step? Well, the first step is also this step here. It's also 1, right? Because how many ways can you get there? Well, you can only get there by taking 1 step, and that was from the previous location, right? Okay, so if I'm just standing here and I want to get to this first step here, I just quite literally just take 1 step, right? And I'm there, okay? So now that we have those locked in, we can move on to the formula now. So now every succeeding step after the first step, right? So n is greater than 1. Every succeeding step, the value at that step, the number of ways we can get there, the number of distinct ways we can get there is equal to this formula here. So let's use n is equal to 2. So this step here, okay? So how do we get there? Well, we say I am equal to the summation of 2 steps before, so here, plus 1 step before, right? Okay, and is that correct? Yes. When n is equal to 2, the output is equal to 2 as well, right? Because if we're standing here, we'll take it back to very basic logic here. How do I get here if I can only take 1 or 2 steps from the source? Well, if I start here, I can take 1 step twice. So 1 step and then another 1 step. So that's 1 distinct way, right? All right. And then LeetCode said we can also get there by just taking 2 steps immediately. So starting here, if I take 2 steps immediately, I get there. So now it's 2 distinct ways, and that's our answer, right? Okay, so let's do a walkthrough, or not a walkthrough. Let me draw the solution for this code in general, and then we'll do a walkthrough with n is equal to 3, okay? All right, so let me go ahead and create this function. So define climbing steps. stairs, actually, I'll call it. Okay, and it takes n. All right. So I'll be using a DP array so I can do the logic where I am computing the sum from 2 steps before plus 1 step before, okay? And it'll make sense at more along the way, okay? So we say DP is equal to 0 times n plus 1. And it's very important we do the times n plus 1 here, because what this boils down to, so let me make this a little bit smaller. So the reason why we do n plus 1 is because we need to be inclusive, right? Because the nth step, we have to count that, okay? That's why we do an n plus 1. If we didn't have this n plus 1 here, we wouldn't be able, we'd always fall short by 1, okay? By 1 calculation, and we don't want that. All right, so I want you guys to pause and tell me what dp of 0 is and what dp of 1 is equal to, and use this base case formula, okay? Use this base case approach, I should say. All right, okay, so then now I'll go ahead and fill that in. So according to the base case, dp of 0 is equal to 1, because there's only one way to get to the ground floor, the ground step that you're on. It's just to exist there, right? Okay, and then now dp of 1, so the first step, there's only one way to get there, right? You just take 1 step from the ground step, the ground floor, the base step, right? Okay, so now that we're locked in here, I can write my for loop to do this logic, okay? So I can say for I and range, where do we start? We start at the second step, right? Because we already know how many distinct ways to get to the 0th step, the base step, and distinct ways to get to the first step, right? That's the base case there, okay? So then we have to range from 2 to n plus 1, right? We have to be inclusive of the nth stair, okay? The nth step. All right, so now I'm gonna just quite literally do this here, okay? So dp of I is equal to dp of I minus 2 plus dp of I minus 1, okay? And once this for loop terminates, we just return dp of -1, and that's it, okay? So let's go ahead and do a walkthrough. I'll represent the dp array over here, okay? In this case, n is equal to 3, okay? So we need to go ahead and, okay, so we'll have a 0 here, 0 here, 0 here, one more. Let me get the indices as well. Okay, all right, great. So now let's go ahead and do this logic and this logic. So dp of 0, this value is equal to 1. dp of 1, this value is equal to 1 as well. Okay, so 1 and 1. All right, and then now we can go ahead and get inside the for loop, okay? So I starts at 2, right? So I starts here. And I'll repeat again, okay? So why does I start at 2? Is because to get to the ground floor, the ground step, it's just one way, right? You just exist there. To get to the first step, it's also one way to get there, and it's just going 1 step from the ground step. You just take 1 step, okay? So that's that logic there. And now let's get inside of this statement here. So dp of I is equal to dp of I minus 2 plus dp of I minus 1. So dp of I, so this index here, is equal to dp of I minus 2's value, which is a 1, plus I minus 1's value, which is a 1. So if we sum that up, we get a 2, right? So this becomes a 2, okay? And we continue on in the for loop. So now I becomes 3. dp of I is equal to dp of I minus 2 plus dp of I minus 1. So this guy is equal to the summation of the value at I minus 2 plus the value at I minus 1. So that means that this is equal to 3, okay? All right? So now that we've reached 3 in our for loop, we terminate, and we just return dp of -1. And is that true? Yeah, that's what we're expected, right? Because this third step here, how many unique ways can we get there if we can only take 1 or 2 steps, okay? Well, the first one is just taking only 1 steps at a time. So 1, 2, 3. So that gets us there. So we have 1 unique way. The second approach is taking 1 step and then you jump 2 steps. So that's 2 different ways. The third approach is to take 2 steps immediately and then you take 1 step. So that's 3 distinct ways as we expected, right? Okay, so let me head on over to LeetCode and I'll code this up. Okay. So first we have to create our DP array and we'll use, we'll multiply, so we want this to be of size n plus 1, right? Because we have to be exclusive, or inclusive, my apologies, of the nth step, right? We want to count that. Okay, so then now the base case, right? How many distinct ways can you get to the ground step? So the base step, just 1, right? You exist there, you just exist, okay? And then how many ways can you get to the first step? That's also equal to 1, because if you look at the first step and you look behind you, how did I get there? Oh, I just took 1 step, right? Okay, so great. Now we get inside of this for loop and we start at the second step because we've already computed the 0th and the first step, right? That was line 4 and 5. And we also need to be inclusive, so we do n plus 1, so we're ranging from 2 to n plus 1. Okay, and then the formula is just equal to dp of I. That value at the dp of I, that index, the value at that index of the dp array is equal to the value from the dp index I minus 2 plus the value from dp index I minus 1, okay? And once we finish with this for loop, we just return dp of -1, and this should do it for us. So it passes the initial test cases, we submit this, we have a working solution. Okay, wonderful. Let's head back though, because can we do better, right? The time here is big O of n. Can we do better than that? No, we can't, okay? But the space is equal to big O of n as well. Can we do better than that? We can, right? Okay, we don't have to build this up every time. Why don't we just set these 2 values equal to a variable? So we'll call this step, or so we can just call this 1, we can call this 2, and inside the for loop, we say 3 is equal to 1 plus 2, and then throughout the loop, we just update 1 to be equal to 2, and then we update 2 to be equal to 3, okay? That's it, that's the logic. So it won't take long to rewrite it. Let me go ahead and do that now. So we don't need this extra space anymore, so I can delete it here. Okay, so I'll go ahead and say 1 is equal to 1, and 2 is equal to 1. And now for the logic in the for loop, all we have to do here is say 3. I need a little bit more space, excuse me. All right, so 3 is equal to 1 plus 2. All right. Okay, and then now we want 1 to be equal to 2, and then for 2 to be equal to 3. All right, so let's run this. Let's do a walkthrough so I can prove to you that this still works. Oh, and by the way, we won't be returning dp of -1. I'll leave that empty for now, and I'll show you what we return once we finish the walkthrough. Okay, so I will start off equal to 2, right? And then we say 3 is equal to 1 plus 2. So 1 plus 2 gives us a 2. 1 is equal to 2 now. So 1 will still have this value of 1. 2 is now going to be updated and equal to the value of 2, right? So we continue on in the loop. I becomes 3. Okay, so 3 is equal to 1 plus 2. Quite literally, the value is 1 now plus the value 2. So 3 is equal to 3. 1 is equal to 2 now, okay? And then 2 is equal to 3, okay? I want you to use a different example. Maybe do when n is equal to 5, because it just kind of looks repetitive, a little confusing, because we're saying 1 is equal to 1, 2 is equal to 2. You get what I'm saying, right? So use a bigger number and you'll understand the pattern even more, okay? So then now that we've reached 3 in the I loop, we break out, and what should we return? We should return 2, right? Because that's what we have access to. This variable is still within the scope, right? Okay, so we return 2, and that is our solution. Let's head on over to LeetCode, and I'll show that to you guys now. Okay, so we don't need the DP array anymore. We're gonna rename DP of 0 to 1 is equal to 1, and then 2 is equal to 1, and over here we'll say 3 is equal to 1 plus 2, and 1 is equal to 2, so 2 is equal to 3, okay? You could have probably used better variable names. Maybe you could have said this is, so you could have said like this is the current step is equal to that. But okay, let me go ahead and run this initial test case as it passes. Let me submit this. And we have a working solution. Back to the drawing board. I'm going to say it again. So now we have the space down to big O of 1, which is great. That's the most efficient approach. The time is still big O of n, right? Okay. So as always, whatever platform you're on, like, comment, subscribe, follow, and I'll catch you in the next one.